computer.
Tell me when, Richard.
All right, everyone's coming in.
We'll wait till everybody kind of connects to audio.
Yep.
All right, we're
looking good?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me get this live stream going.
You got it?
One sec.
How many people we got on there?
5.
Oh, come on. If I was Rabih, I'd go back to sleep.
Sorry?
I think Eddie scared everybody away.
No, but at least it'll be on Facebook, I guess, and you know.
We're ready. Let's go, guys.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Zoom chat hosted by Miami Reef Keepers. Like many of you know, Miami Reef Keepers is a group of like-minded friends with many years of experience behind them. Mostly Eddie, because he's really old, but he does have a lot of experience to share. So we share info and knowledge with each other to help improve our tanks and the hobby as a whole. Stick around to the end of the chat. We're going to share a coupon code in case anyone's interested in a reef bot. Our guest today is Rabih. Rabih is a managing partner at Reef Kinetics and the creator of the Reef Bot. Hey, Rabih.
Hello, how are you?
How's it going, brother?
Fine, fine.
Rabih, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been in the hobby?
Well, I've been in the hobby for around 18 years.
18 years. Got a bit of experience behind you.
Yep. And
I understand you're from Lebanon. What time is it over there?
Yep. It's 2 a.m.
I want to thank you for taking time at 2 a.m. to join us. Here in the States, it's only 7 p.m. So thank you very much for sharing at 2 a.m. or staying up or waking up at 2 a.m. to talk with us. I understand you guys had that big explosion recently. How are you guys holding up?
Well, it was a huge one, but thank God we survived it. And the company wasn't affected. Few glasses, that's all. And that's it. Thank God, no one got injured.
That's good. That's good. I know it was a big deal down there.
Yep.
So tell us a little history about your company, Reef Kinetics.
Well, Reef Kinetics started like 4 years ago, and it was made out of passion for the hobby. So we decided to create a device to test the water autonomously and remotely. And we started to work on the first version of the Reef Bot, and we did like 5-6 prototypes till we ended up with the current one.
Okay, so I guess let's get to what we're all here for: automatic water testing using the Reef Bot. As you guys know, the Reef Bot is a device that offers the convenience of handling your aquarium testing for you. As far as I know, it's the only device available right now which can automate nitrate and phosphate testing. In fact, it can automate a number of different parameters. Rabih, why don't you tell us about your Reef Bot?
Well, yes, the Reef Bot can test for multiple parameters, mainly alkalinity, magnesium, calcium, phosphate, nitrate, copper, iodine, nitrite. So a lot of tests. It can automate around 9 parameters for salt water and 5 parameters for fresh water, and now we're adding pools, and it can test automate like 20 test kits till now, and we're always adding new ones.
Yeah, I see you guys on the webpage. I follow you on Facebook, and I see you guys frequently post whenever you're gonna add some new test kit. I understand that it takes a lot of work to add a test kit. It's not as simply as just post it up there. I know you guys do a lot of work when it comes to adding a new kit. It takes quite a lot of manpower.
Yeah, of course. For each test, we do a lot of R&D on standard solutions. So it's not an easy job to add any parameter, new parameter or new test kit.
Mm-hmm. How did you come up with the idea of the Reef bot?
Well, it's a funny story. I used to work abroad in Kuwait, and I had a reef tank in Beirut. So every time I travel, something happened, either a spike of phosphate or something like that. So we were chatting, me and a friend in a fish store, why no one started building a device that automates the test kits, and we decided to do it. So it took us like 2 years of R&Ds, and later on we went to our first show in the US. It was MACNA. I think it was in 2017 maybe. And we had a device like an octopus device.
The small one, I remember that.
Yeah, the main unit, the many tentacles. So it had to take a lot of space and things like that. So we decided to shrink it and to make it more like one unit. And this is what we did. And now, you know, the Reef bot, you have it, and many people have it. So it's a reliable device that people like it.
How much testing did you guys have to take on to get it to where it is today?
Well, we ran thousands of tests, and we did like 6 or 7 prototypes till we got to the last version that we released. So yeah, now we have the device that can hold the 8 reagent bottles, and we have the Pro that can hold 21 reagent bottles.
Yeah, I understand you have a big team with you have chemists and engineers and such to.
Yeah, we have 2 chemists on board, and many engineers, many technicians, marketing department, operations. Yeah, it's a big team. We're 25 persons in total.
How many guys did you have in the beginning when you first started?
When I first started, it was two persons, 1 robotics engineer and 1 software, and me. So later on, a chemist joined, and we recruited many talents till date.
I know the support team is phenomenal. I've reached out a couple of times, and I see numerous posts on your Facebook group page that people are very happy with the support, even with the time change. You know, I know that. Or the time difference. I know that a couple of times I've reached out, and you know, these guys are working from home to help you know, take care of your problems. So, you know, kudos for that. The support team is very good.
Thank you. Hadi is leading the support team, and he's doing a pretty nice job. He works like 7 days per week, 24 hours. All the team, even the chemists help, the engineers help. Yeah, the support is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thank you. It's been really good. I know that we've run into your guys a couple of times at MACNA and you know, Reefapalooza, and it was a good time, you know, meeting and sitting with you guys and talking. So, you know, again, thanks. You know, I know that the team is real nice.
Yeah,
Maybe
hopefully that we will have new shows coming after COVID and
Yeah. We've
and the
kind of
lockdown.
run into this. Nobody was expecting this, so you know,
Yep.
it is what it is. I guess we just got to move forward and you know, just look at the future.
Yeah, we had to cancel a show in Germany, Interzoo, and a show in the States, and another one also in Dubai, and we had to cancel many shows.
Oh yeah, this year, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it's not just in the States where it's canceled.
No, everywhere,
It's
everywhere.
worldwide.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the manufacturing process on the reef bots.
Well, yeah, most of the manufacturing is done in Beirut, in Lebanon. We start the manufacturing by the aluminum cases, which are the rust proof. They are powder coated, so it's like the paint is like the cars we painted in the same process. Then we do the mechanical assembly, then the electrical assembly, then it goes to a QA with the engineer. He assure that everything is in place, nothing is wrong with the manufacturing. Then a QC, quality control, with the chemists, and then it runs back to the quality assurance engineers, and then to the packaging, and we ship directly from Lebanon to the States in 2 days.
2 days, that's pretty good. And you ship the bot worldwide, yes? Or not worldwide, but you know, several places. I guess you could say worldwide. I know you ship to many places. So let's say, what's in store for the future with the Reef bot?
Well, now we're working on the dosing pumps. They were gonna be released pretty soon. And a large vials for chemicals, 60 ml vials mainly. So you won't need to refill often the chemicals. It will last for so many tests. It depends
Just so
on
the
which
viewers
one.
know, what's the size that the bot has right now at the vial?
The vials right now are 20 ml.
So they're
So
going to
it
be
will
3
be
times as much. So basically,
triple.
you can run 3 times as many tests on the
Yes,
vials.
exactly. Triple.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Even for me, that
Yeah.
would be quite convenient.
Yeah, a lot of people are waiting for it.
Rabih, who helped you develop the app? Because I know when I look at the app, you know, you can kind of see what the Reef bot sees or what the color sensor sees. You know, when I'm adding drops, you know, and I'm looking for a color of pink or red, you know, you don't really realize, you know, through the app, you know, it actually shows you, you know, exactly what the result is. You know, it's so who helped you develop that app?
The app is in-house built. We have software engineers and CTOs that built everything from scratch. So yeah, everything is in-house built.
It's all cloud-based, correct?
Yeah, cloud-based AWS. So you can monitor everything. You can start any test remotely wherever you are. Once I started the test from the plane, I was in the skies flying, and I started the test. So you can monitor your tank anywhere at any time.
Yeah, somebody had just posted a screenshot. You can tell in the screenshot. Can we go back to that?
Well, the screenshot showed
Maybe
a
not.
fairly short
So
test.
the screenshot here, maybe it's coming right now. The screenshot basically shows you after each drop of reagent, you can actually see the color changing. You know, so you can see how accurate the color sensor is. So you know, sometimes when you're adding the color, it's really difficult to tell those subtle changes. You know, and the color sensor is able to determine those changes pretty accurately. So that's kind of what I meant about the app. You know, you can kind of go back and see your history. You know, you can kind of see what colors the Reef bot was seeing when you run your test. I like that a lot. That's really nice.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to just post a result without the actual test because we automate the manual testing. In the manual testing, you count the drops, you wait for till the color change, or you look to the syringe, how much remaining reagent you have. So we just want the user to feel the manual change with the same feeling of the manual change, automated or manual.
Yeah, I know it's basically as accurate as the test kit itself, you know, and it removes the human error. I know that sometimes I'll run nitrate tests with the Tropic Marin kit, and you know, it's got a range. So sometimes you might have a 5, and you'll see that it's a solid pink 5, you know, and sometimes it might not be low enough to mark the one before, you know, so it might not give you a 2 or what's before, but you know, you can kind of see how deep that red or that pink is, you know, while still reading within the parameters. I think I've even seen, which I didn't see before, I've seen like phosphate reading instead of 0.4 or 0.8, you know, if you're in between, the bot will even say 0.4 to 0.8. Is that something that was added recently?
Yeah, it was added like a couple of months ago because sometimes the test is between the resolution of the kit. So to give you a better idea of the result, we added the in-between resolution.
All right, I had some questions here. We'll open it up for some questions in case anybody that's with us in the chat here can ask some questions. But somebody had asked me to ask you, what are the most common test kits that people are using for the ReefBot?
Well, mainly they are using red sea phosphate, alkalinity magnesium, API calcium, tropic marine or fauna marine nitrate, and nitrite pro. Also, they are using LS copper, Giesemann iodine. These are the main kits that are being used.
Yeah, a couple of us are using the ReefBot, and we pretty much use those. The API calcium, which really, I guess people weren't terribly fond of, but it works extremely well in the ReefBot.
Well, it's a very stable kit and gives amazing results.
Yeah, it does. It's
Yeah.
actually quite accurate.
Yeah.
Red Sea for alkalinity because it just uses the one vial. You know, it's pretty easy.
Exactly.
And I know that you're constantly adding, you know, new tests. Just, you know, I know they take their time, and you know, it's basically only liquid test. I imagine that there's other test kits that you cannot add because they use powder, you know, and I'm assuming that just because of the logistics of how the bot works, you know, you're stuck with using liquid tests.
Yeah, mainly liquid. We only have the red sea calcium that you can pre-mix the reagent to transform it from powder to liquid and use it on the ReefBot.
Right. I know that I've been asked a couple of times, have you guys thought about making your own reagents? I mean, how much work's involved in that? Maybe it's quite complicated.
It's not complicated because most of the test kits are being developed in labs for water testing, not only aquarium testing.
Okay.
So we started something, but we delayed it a bit because of COVID and things like that. But we're gonna get back to it.
Okay, maybe that's secret future stuff then.
Yes. We have a lot of pretty interesting stuff coming.
Okay. I know a lot of folks are asking about the doser. Is the doser gonna dose depending on the results of the bot?
You have two options: either automated, depending on the results of the bot, or manual.
Okay.
And you can use it even without owning a bot.
Okay, all right. Is it gonna be like accurate from a number of, you know, is it going to be just for macro elements? Can you use it for calcium and alkalinity dosing? You know, is it what's going to be the range of the doser?
We didn't set the range yet, but it's pretty accurate, and of course you can use it for alkalinity, calcium, dosing iodine, or any other element.
Okay. I believe there was a link also that talks about, because I know some people ask about, how much time the test takes, how much reagent is used, with the current 20 ml bottles. And I believe you had a link, or was there a page that we could share for that?
Yeah, of course. On the support page, there's a table containing all the information for every test kit. You can share it with the guys here.
I believe one of our guys was going to add it to the chat, so in case
Yeah.
anybody wanted to take a look at that. Let's see if there's any questions from any other users or anybody here logged in with us in the chat.
Let's ask them to raise their hand if you want to ask a question.
I'm sure Eddie has a question. He always has questions.
Hello, Eddie.
Okay. I didn't. I was looking how to raise my hand. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have a few. No. It's I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with the device. So when I hear you guys talking about 20 ml versus 60 ml, what really does that mean? Because I know for a fact that what the ReefBot does is, for example, if you're going to test, let's talk about nitrates. I'm not sure which kit it is that you use. What kit is it?
Let's
for
say
nitrates?
tropic marine or fauna marine.
Okay, tropic marine or fauna marine. Okay, so that requires probably a titration of some sort. What is the difference? Explain to me again. I'm not a user. I'm not familiar. So if I have 20 ml, what happens if I wanted to test nitrates with that tropic marine or fauna marine?
Okay, for tropic marine nitrates, you can perform like 11 tests with the 20 ml. With the 60 ml, you will be able to test to perform 33 tests before refilling the bottles.
Okay, so we're pouring this liquid from tropic marine or fauna, tropic marine or fauna marine into that 20 ml or 60 ml device, right?
Yeah.
We buy the kit and then we throw it in there, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so that means I have to use 3 times more reagent, or does the fact that you switch from 20 to 60 allow me to do more tests within?
It will allow you to do more tests, that's it.
But I have to just pour more reagent in. That's fine, I'm just asking because I don't know.
Yeah. You won't waste any reagent. You just you just top off the old reagent with new one, and you will perform the test, and it will perform more tests than the smaller vial. That's it.
But I have to put in 3 times more reagent.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. No, that's okay. That's fair.
But they won't be used. You will be using the same amount of reagent either if you're using the 20 ml vial or 60 ml vial.
No, that's fine. I understand. It just allows you to not have to refill it more often.
Exactly.
That's
okay,
the best answer right there, Eddie. As a user, it basically just makes it so that I have to refill it less often. So like in my case, I run nitrates twice a week. So, after a couple of weeks of running nitrate, I have to refill the bottle. And it usually the one that gets consumed the most is the larger, there's 3 different, you have the titration, the little color. So there's the largest vial is the one that gets consumed the quickest. So that's usually the one I have to fill.
Okay, I get that. I understand. Can I ask another question, or is somebody that has their hand up?
I think Chris says you can go ahead and ask another question.
Okay. You guys were talking about the titration method and the fact that what reduces the human error is that color change. And one of the benefits of having something like the ReefBot, I would imagine, is the fact that it can determine the color change better than the human eye. Is that not what it's supposed to do? Robin?
Yes, the algorithm, the algorithm will know when the color change happened, and determine the result. But in titration, it's easier than in colorimetric test. In colorimetric test, when you have different colors, like from let's say for phosphate, from shaded blue to dark blue. These are the pretty hard to determine the right result. In titration,
Right.
it's easy to, you will get, let's say, for calcium, a change from red to blue, but there's no shades in between. But when you're doing any colorimetric test like phosphate, nitrate, nitrite, copper, all of these things, this is where the hard type is to determine with the human eye.
Okay, that's fair. So my question is this: we as hobbyists get a little chart with the different shades of green, blue, red, whatever it is. So how does the Reef bot determine that change? Is it something that you go back to the manufacturer and say, I don't know, I'm not an engineer or anything like that, I'm just curious. How does it determine where the right spot is? I mean, are you guys taking a picture of that little chart and then your colorimeter, sees it differently, or you're reaching out to the manufacturer and asking them, this shade of gray, this shade of blue, this shade of red, whatever is the actual reading?
No, we don't communicate with the manufacturer. We bring the test kits, we buy them online, and we just perform all the tests on standard solutions, different standard solutions. Let's say for nitrate, from 0 till 100, let's say, and we draw like a curve for every resolution, which color we got, and we put them into the algorithm, and the algorithm will know where the color change and which color is gives which result.
So you use a standard solution. You use a control.
Yeah.
You don't use the little charts that they send you.
No.
You guys
we use standard solution, lab grade standard solution.
That determines that actual change, not the actual color.
Yes.
Just I understand what a control solution is. That's excellent. That is very, very interesting. I mean, but that being said, I don't know. Do these things change with different lot numbers when the manufacturers send you all these liquids? I don't know, because again, they're hobby test kits, so they I'm sure their quality control is not as good as, let's say, what you're doing, which is a standard with a control solution.
Well, most of the test kits are have a variation, but it's not that big or large. Let's say for any test kit, if we take one alkalinity, it will tell you on the manufacturing manual, it has plus or minus 0.5 dkh. So we're restricted to the resolution of the manufacturer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a standard deviation.
Yeah,
that's
standard
that's something that's going to happen.
Yes, even in the lab grade, you have a deviation, a small deviation. Always. There's no test kit that doesn't have a deviation.
Listen, it's the same thing in blood analysis. I'm a nurse, so I'm very familiar with standard with controls and what there's always going to be a standard deviation. Your goal always is to make that standard deviation as small as possible, but it's always going to exist. So we understand that. But I was just curious about the fact that a colorimeter is reading this. So I thought they were reading the colors off of those little charts. But you're telling me no. You've established your own standards. That is huge. That is something that is extremely important to anybody that's listening. That you're not just comparing the little colors. You have a standard that you know is accurate, and you're comparing that to the actual tests instead of using colors.
Yeah, of course. Every test kit is being tested on standard solution. There's no test kit that goes online without being tested and the curve drawn on standard.
That's a huge achievement, Rabih. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's why I mentioned earlier, Eddie, that I know when he adds a test kit, there's a lot of testing that gets involved, because they run that test over and over with those different solutions, and then they got to input it into the bot. So I know that whenever they add a new test kit, it's a big deal.
Yeah, but there's a difference between his device, for example, measuring a color instead of measuring. I'm sure eventually it ends up being a color, but if they're comparing it to a standard that they have compared it to, that is totally different than just looking at a color. That his little device just looks at a color they took off of a chart or something. That is a totally different situation. A totally different way of doing it.
Ultimately, what happens is that data that they put tells the bot at what color means what means what output or what amount of whatever it is that you're testing.
If they're comparing it to their standard or I shouldn't call it a standard. It's a controlled solution is what it's called. If they're comparing it to a controlled solution, absolutely, that makes all the difference in the world.
Rabih, somebody asked me if the 60 ml vials are going to be compatible for all users, or is it going to work with all the current bots?
Yeah, of course, the 60 ml vials will be compatible with every device we have.
So we won't need to change the syringes or anything?
No. You won't need to change anything. Just plug in the new vial.
So it'll be just a little bit wider, or I guess quite a bit wider than the
wider and larger a bit, and that's it.
I know at one time you said you were thinking about making smaller vials for the smaller reagents, the ones that sometimes you have to buy 2 test kits to get it filled enough to I think it's because there has to be a little bit of a buffer so that the needle doesn't strike the magnetic stir, correct?
Yep, correct. We made some R&D on the smaller vial, but not a lot of people are asking for it. Mainly, most of the people are asking for the larger vial.
Richard just asked, when will they be available?
Soon enough. Soon enough.
It's basically just convenience, I guess. You just have to fill up the bot less often.
Yeah. It will be much more easier, and you can let's say extend your vacation for more time if you're not around to fill in the vials.
Somebody else asking. What's that?
Okay. No. I'm sorry. I let me know when I can ask.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how to raise my hand. I'll figure it out. No, I don't want to interrupt anybody else. Ask the other people.
Go ahead and raise your hand. Go ahead. I just have another one that somebody asked here, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Somebody's asking me how it's for Rabih, I guess. I don't want to take your thunder. How does the Reef bot communicate with the internet and with your TV, with your telephone? How does the Reef bot communicate?
Okay, the Reef bot communicates through the cloud. Everything's connected to our servers. We use AWS, Amazon Web Servers. So it's the most trusted server in the world. You connect it from Bluetooth to your router via the Wi-Fi, and then everything is connected to the cloud.
So the Reef bot can connect hardwired or Wi-Fi?
Yes. You can also plug in a network cable.
Okay. Go ahead, Eddie. And he's back.
No, that was one of my questions. Now, go to somebody else. So let me continue thinking. I have a few more questions, but keep going. I'm liking this device more and more.
Rabih, somebody else asked me how long is the warranty?
1 year.
Okay,
We
1
have
year.
a 1 year warranty. Yeah.
And I know that again the support has been really good. I've had mine for over a year, and you know you've always been very helpful to me. You know when I need some help, you know to get things sorted out. So I have an earlier model. I guess I know that you've made things a little bit simpler when it comes to changing parts. Where you know the old ones had to be soldered, and the new ones, you know, they got you know more of a plug and play type thing. You know when it comes to I guess replacing the dosing pumps if you needed to, or such.
Yep. The current model is pretty easy to maintain. Yes, our support team, as we talked before, is very active and can answer any question, and we help everyone with anything related to the ReefBot, or even we got a lot of questions about chemistry in reef aquariums that are not related to the ReefBot.
Yeah, I won't be asking.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, how do you contact support?
You can contact through our app. If you open the menu, you have support, so you can chat with the team, or you can just send an email to support@reefkinetics.com.
Somebody, I guess they didn't hear earlier when you talked about, they're talking about if you're going to be able to control dosing based on your parameters. You said that you can choose to yes or no, right? Depending on.
Depending on the dosing pump will be controlled by the ReefBot or manually. So you can dose according to the ReefBot, or just choose your schedule and it will dose autonomously. And also, you don't need to have a ReefBot to control the dosing pump.
Will it be through the same app?
Yeah, the same app.
Okay. How long does the titration solution last in the ReefBot? Or I guess maybe just the reagents. How long do the reagents last in the ReefBot?
It depends on which parameter and which brand it's chosen. So you have in the table for every parameter and every brand the number of tests. So if I can see here, let's say Colombo phosphate will last for 46 tests. You have like Giesemann alkalinity will last 15 tests. You have different amounts. And with the larger vials, they will last 3 times what is currently available.
I'm not sure if he was talking about like how many tests it can form, or like the longevity of the test, because I know that they're pretty sealed up. So I I would imagine they'd last just as long as it would inside of the manufacturer's bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Our bottles are borosilicate glass with the septa, PTFE septa, so they will last even more than the manufacturer vials.
Yeah, because I know some people worry about when you top off. You know, the good thing is that the bot is constantly running tests. So in my case, I usually run out before the reagent would have expired. Because when I have to test myself, I often perform less tests. When it's doing it automatically, I guess we just take it for granted sometimes. It's just nice to know twice a week that my bot is gonna handle my nitrate and phosphate tests.
Yeah, well, usually the reagent lasts for a couple of years in the original vials, and it's the same in the ReefBot. But from my experience, they last even more than 2 years usually. Okay. They write that the shelf life is 2 years, but usually it's way more than that.
Okay, Eddie raised his hand. I think he's got it.
Henry, I hear you testing nitrates and phosphates, right?
Yes,
okay. That would be the same reason I would need one, because I already have another device that measures my alkalinity, magnesium, and calcium. So when you put in, okay, we're talking about the 20 ml vials right now.
Mm-hmm.
for, number one, what test kits do you use? And number two, how long do they last you? And I'm asking for both nitrate and phosphate.
I use the same ones that he says are the most popular. I run Red Sea for phosphate. So basically, the Reef Bot has a limited amount of spaces. Obviously, unless you get the Pro, which is, you know, a large device with, you know, multiple vials. But the regular home one, it's got a limited amount of spaces. So you want to try to maximize those spaces. So this is why I run Red Sea phosphate, which uses 2 reagents. So it's 2 vials. The Tropic Marine nitrate uses 3 vials. I use Red Sea for alkalinity. Just to double check, I use the same device as you. Just a redundancy, a double check. And then I run the API calcium, which is another 2 vials, again, to double check. So basically,
and by the way, there was this, you guys mentioned API and calcium not being the best. The API, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the API calcium test kit. That thing has a color change like that. I know it's cheap, but it is excellent for calcium.
Yeah, that's.
But I'll say that. Okay.
When I first picked up my bot, that I asked Rabih what test to get, he recommended that. You know, and just I know that API doesn't have, you know, the most loyal following, I guess. You know.
I used API for 10 years and ran in a huge SPS tank with no problems. There's nothing wrong with API.
No, I used to run Red Sea, but since the powder, you know, I switched over to the API, and I have no problem with it. I think it works.
Okay, but let's go back one at a time. Let's talk about phosphates. You're saying you're using Red Sea, right, for phosphates, is it?
Correct.
Okay. And how many tests can you get with that 20 ml vial with the Red Sea phosphate?
Right. Rabih, how many tests can I get? I basically just, when the app tells me that I'm running low on the reagents, I top off. So I really don't count, but I'm sure he has the answer there.
I'm looking it up because I didn't memorize all the.
Let me
Red
just.
Sea phosphate. It's 37 tests.
How many?
37.
Let me just
37.
37 tests on 1 refill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me clarify something. So what the Reef Bot is doing is basically taking away you manually testing. So the testing amounts when you buy the test kits should be more or less what you should actually get in number of tests. The only difference is that you're preloading these reagents in the Reef Bot in that 20 ml vial, and that's what is limited. So you have to, like, let's say for example, let's say alkalinity. It's only 1 vial. A lot of people use the Red Sea. I use the Red Sea in the Reef Bot. You take that orange solution that comes from Red Sea, that might give you 120 tests. Let's say that whole vial, if you went through the whole vial. By using the Reef Bot, you preload that reagent into that 20 vial, which eventually will also have an option of 60, and that will give you X amount of tests before you need to reload. That doesn't mean that the unit is using more reagents than if you test it by hand. On the contrary, it's probably using less. However, you're still able to, you have to reload the reagent, give it ammo before it can test again. Just to clarify that.
No, I understand that. I'm just curious. You know, Henry.
The nitrate I have to fill more frequently. The phosphate I rarely fill. The nitrate, I think he said it runs 11 tests per refill of the 20 ml vial. And I don't know if you can see here. I guess that doesn't show up. So basically, the nitrate kit, it has a large cylinder and then a medium one and a small one. The one that gets consumed the most is the large one, the A. And that's the one that you generally have to refill, you know, the most. So if I had a vial that held 3 times as much A, I could get, I think Rabih said, instead of the 11 tests, you could get 20-something tests before having to refill that vial again.
Okay, I understand Chris's point. I understand your point. I'm just trying to determine. The truth is, I'm trying to determine whether this is a viable option for me or not. So, you know, the fact that with one test kit, you can get 37 phosphates. Okay, and you're telling me you can get 11 phosphates for 11 test kits. I'm sorry, for nitrate. And what test kit was that?
It's not how many per test kit. It's per what fills up that vial. So like the phosphate, you could probably get a couple of refills on each one of those Red Sea kits. I think that I think I can get at least 2 of those refills from those Red Sea phosphate kits. So it's basically you're limited to what that 20 ml vial holds. Like when you buy the Red Sea alkalinity, it brings, that thing looks like it's probably over 50 mils, probably 80 to 100 mils, that big thing. So the bottle only holds 20 mils.
Henry, I don't care about alkalinity. I'm talking about phosphate, and I'm talking about nitrate. You're telling me that you can get 11 with the nitrate, and what kit is that?
That's with the Tropic Marin.
Tropic Marin.
Before you have to refill, 11 before you have to refill. But you
and how many times can you get out of that Tropic Marin? Chris, I get you. It's a 20 milliliter vial. So how many refills will you get out of that Tropic Marin kit for your nitrates?
I'm not sure how many.
The same amount of the manual testing. It's the same amount.
But you can't say that, sir, because then you have to add the cost of the device. So then in my case, I have to decide. You still have to add the cost of the device.
Right. You just said how many tests can you get out of the, so you get the same number of tests. The same number of tests out of the same amount of reagents.
Okay. So if I look at what the Tropic Marin nitrate test kits gets me, the Reef bot will be able to do the same. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's a fair response. Okay.
The only caveat is that in the very beginning, being that the Reef bot, the needle cannot go all the way to the bottom of the cylinder because there is a magnetic stir. So there's probably, I don't know what it is, maybe 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, but that's nothing. That's nothing.
Okay, so in the very beginning, when you load up your first Tropic Marin kit, you've got to buy 2 kits because there's the small vial of the reagent that gets used the least. You have to dump 2 of those in there before the needle's able to consume. Now, once you've got it topped off, then from then on, it's just refills. So it's basically what you get is what you get.
I'm sure that's minuscule, and that's fine. All right. The other question I had, unless somebody else raised their hands.
Go ahead.
Am I the only one that's going to ask questions? Rabih,
No,
I told you that I always have a lot of questions.
I asked some questions.
Rabih, am I asking stupid questions?
I have another one. So go ahead. I'm going to ask another one.
I didn't ask you, Henry. I asked him.
I got the list in front of me.
Eddie, I have a question. What kind of cigar are you smoking?
This is a Nicaraguan. I'm a Cuban that doesn't like Cuban cigars.
Oh, well, yeah, yeah.
So
some Nicaraguan good cigars. I like it.
Actually, a lot of the seed in Nicaragua is from Cuba.
I know.
Right.
I read a lot about cigars. Okay, back to Reef.
Somebody else asked.
So far, the only question okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Henry.
Somebody else asked about the placement. So I know in the very beginning that the placement was limited, but I know that you've come up with updates, so you're able to place the bot a little bit further away from the tank. What are the parameters as far as how close it can be to the tank?
Well, the Reef bot can be placed far away for 2 meters. The tube that comes with it is 2 meters long. So you can put it around 2 meters away. We have a chart here that the Reef bot shouldn't be higher than the place that withdraw the water from. So if you're withdrawing from the thumb, don't put it so much high. It should be around 70 centimeters higher or lower than the source of water.
Okay. Yeah, I see the picture there. If you're gonna place it higher, then you should draw from the tank itself. And then if you're gonna place it lower, then you can draw from the sump.
Yeah. It should be at 70 centimeters plus or minus the source of water.
Okay. And then somebody else says, what test kits are in the pipeline?
What tests are in the pipeline?
Yeah, what new test kits are you working on? What new test kits are you working on?
we're adding the Colombo brand, and we're adding sorry, freshwater and some also pool test kits.
Pool test kits, huh?
Yep.
A whole new horizon for the reef pod.
Yep, yep.
That's interesting because I'm building a pool right now, so I might have to get another reef bot. But you're gonna have to put it in some kind of weatherproof case.
Yeah, or most of the pools have a room for the machines, so you can for the pump and things like that. You can put it with the machines.
I would imagine that maybe for a pool store, you know, to test a client's water, similar to like the Reef Bot Pro.
Yep, you can do it.
All right, Eddie, go ahead and ask your next question.
He disappeared.
Stepped away.
Rabih, what is the cost of the Reef Bot?
The Reef Bot is for $899, and we have a special coupon code for Miami Reef Keepers.
Yes, I believe we were going to share a coupon code here in the chat, maybe.
Yeah, so it's $899 for the regular Reef Bot, and 2,600 for the Pro. It's discounted from 3,000.
Okay, the Pro, I imagine the Pro is going to be mostly for a store that needs to run multiple, because they can draw from multiple sources, right, the Pro?
It can draw from 2 tanks, and the clients can bring water and put it in the place of the reagent, and the syringe will move the water to the testing chamber. Will
it perform tests faster than the standard, or is it the same?
It's almost the same, because when you're performing a test like the manual test, you need to wait a certain amount of time for the color to build up. So if you're testing for phosphate, let's say, or for nitrate, so it's the same amount of time almost.
Okay. Says, how has the response been on the ReefBot Pro? Is it? Do you see that it's popular?
We've been sold out in 1 week.
Wow. Okay, so yeah. I guess it's
we sold all our devices in 1 week, and the funny thing is that mostly not fish store are buying it, but reefers
really?
for home. Yeah, for home. I was shocked. At first, we planned it like for fish store and things like that for businesses, but most of our of the buyers are individuals.
And now, would it be for guys that like you know, run multiple tanks? Maybe they run coral growth systems, or they have multiple tanks they need to test from.
Yeah, mainly for multiple tanks at home.
Okay. Have you guys thought about making something an intermediate? You know, just that maybe that holds more vials. So you know, maybe somebody doesn't need the Pro to test, you know, multiple sources, but wants, you know, to change reagents.
Well, I can't disclose this.
Okay. And now I gotta add, if you do want to add, so let's say you want to test copper or whatnot. I know that it's very easy to just switch out the vials. So when you buy the bot, it comes with extra vials. You can basically keep them sealed with the reagents, and just on the app, you can go ahead and change out the vials and run whatever test it is that you want to run. You know, if you want to run, I don't know, potassium test, you can have the vials on the side, change them on the app, and then go ahead and run a potassium test.
Yeah, it's a 2-minute switch. It doesn't take you a lot of time. You can switch, but also if someone likes to test a lot with many kits and parameters, you can buy also the Pro and use it. It will hold up 21 reagent vials, so it will hold up mainly all the parameters that he wants to test for.
The Pro is just a much larger footprint, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's around 45 centimeter diameters, I think.
You guys got to upload some videos of the Pro working on your website or on your YouTube page.
We will.
Yeah, I'm curious just to see how it works, because I know it's like a circle. Right, it's more like a circle, right? It's not the rectangular one that we're used to.
No, it's not rectangular. It's seven-sided device. The footprint is.
There it is.
Yep. You can scroll down. There's the footprint of the device.
Yeah, you got to post some videos of it at work.
Yep.
There it is. That's why I assumed it was like a circle.
Mm-hmm. It's here. Wait. It's up a little bit up. Okay, it's 45.5
Oh, I see it.
centimeter height and 51.5 diameter.
Wide. 51, 51. Okay. So
Yep.
it's a bit bigger than the regular reef bot. It's a little
Yep.
harder to hide that.
Yeah.
That might not be as wife approved as the regular reef bot is.
Well,
Does it have does it have the acrylic covers like the regular reef bot has for each of those sides?
Yeah, it has an
I
acrylic
see it.
cover for every side.
Okay. So when you have it closed up, it basically just looks like a closed seven-sided circle, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I got you.
A lot of people asked us about if they need to close the cover when testing. Well, you don't need to close the cover if you don't have direct light on the reaction chamber. Or, why we recommend to close the cover if you have like childs or pets like dogs or something like that, so they don't hurt themselves with the needle.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, I guess, because the bot would have no idea of knowing, if your dog put its nose there in between the
Yeah,
vial
of
and
course.
needle.
Of course.
Somebody asked, what's the biggest misconception for the reef bot, if there's any?
The misconception. Well, I don't know. Maybe running it without any calibration at all. Some people just bring it and run it for like 6-7 months without doing any calibration, and they just saying, "Oh, it's not accurate." Well, we recommend to calibrate it monthly. So you know better once the reef bot is calibrated regularly, it will give accurate results. But if you don't calibrate it, it's like any other measurement device. If you don't calibrate it, you will get not very accurate results.
Someone else says that he heard in the beginning some of the tests would take a really long time to complete, and give results. Has it been kind of streamlined a little bit? I know you said that some tests require time just because of the fact that you got to have the contact time with the reagent. But have the tests been accelerated as far as time?
Yeah, they have been accelerated a little bit, but after all, you need to clean the syringe after every reagent, and you need to clean the reaction chamber before and after every test. So mainly the thing is that you just schedule your test and leave the device. I usually run all my tests during the day when I'm at work, and I just
I
receive
do as well.
the result without even starting anything. So
I see here
for
that
me personally, time is not a question here.
It looks like the tests range from as low as 30 minutes to as high as an hour and 35 minutes, which I guess would be the Phenamarin Aquahome nitrate.
Yeah.
But I do the same as you. I just run them during the day, and basically I just get the results via the app and email. I believe it does both.
Yeah, it does both. Well, I don't even run them. I just put a schedule.
Exactly what I do.
Yeah, whenever I bought the reef, but the first time I just put it the schedule, and that's it. I forget about it. I just received the results.
Yeah, I just have it every day. It runs one test, and then it just basically when your waste container gets full, it alerts you. When the RO container gets full, it alerts you. You know, I know it's pretty automated. You just basically have to refill your reagents and change the needle every once in a while, the syringe needle and the syringe, and top off your RO unit. You know, just tell it that when that happens.
Yep.
Have we shared that coupon code yet?
I'm not sure. It's MRK,
Okay,
like
so the
Miami
coupon-
Reef Keepers.
And what's the expiration date for that coupon code, in case anybody asks?
I believe it's for 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's for 2 weeks.
Okay. So just in case somebody asks. I guess I'm being told here, last call for questions. If anybody else has any questions. I'm sure that Rabih wants to go to sleep. It's pretty late over there.
Yeah,
So,
it's 3 a.m. now.
Yeah. If somebody's saying, how much is the discount?
$50.
Okay, it's a $50 discount. Oh, and where do you place your orders?
On our website, reefkinetics.com.
Okay. So let me see here. Is anybody else? Eddie, you have anything else?
Of course, but no, I want Rabih to go to sleep. I'll ask you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, okay. So I see a lot of changes. Obviously, your innovation changes and your R&D keeps improving. All that gets updated through firmware through the internet.
Yeah, everything is updated through the internet.
Okay, but now you know, you guys kept talking, and I heard more stuff that I wasn't familiar with. What does that mean? RO input and waste. What does that mean?
Okay, the RO input is the reverse osmosis water, the zero TDS water, just to clean the syringe between every reagent.
Okay, so what is there a vial? A vial or a container?
A container, any container, just to clean the syringe between the reagent to prevent any cross-contamination. And the waste is just the waste of the RO and reagent and the tank water.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Eddie, I basically use my ATO container for my RO water. I have the hose going right into the ATO container.
That makes sense. And the waste, you know, I dump my stuff outside. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rabih, are you working on making an unlimited amount where the RO and the waste, where you can just select unlimited amount, so it won't ask you to refill that?
For the waste, you already have it. You can put unlimited for the waste. But for the RO, we didn't want to do that because some user attached the RO directly to the filter. And this will do an overflow because it's pressurized. It will overflow the device. So this is why we didn't want to put unlimited for the RO. You just put a large number. You can put like 10,000 liters. So forget about it.
I got you.
What is it about calibrating? What do you have to calibrate?
You need to calibrate the amount of water that comes into the reaction chamber and RO chamber. So you just press the calibrate, remove the water, put it in the graduated cylinder, and write the number that you got. That's it.
It's
right. So it's about the feed pump or something like that to make sure that it's
Exactly.
Okay. You're not calibrating parameters of any sort.
No. Just the water volume. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to make sure that the Reef bot is getting the amount of water that it thinks it's getting.
Yeah. I'm done. You guys are picking on me. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Eddie, for all the questions. Very informative.
Okay. Do you not think that by me asking these questions, I educated your audience?
Certainly. Our audience.
100%. Certainly.
Okay.
I got a question. Rabih, what components need to be changed? How often do they need to be changed?
Okay, you can check the manual. maintenance, we to change the pads, just the heads every 6 months, and to change the syringe and needle every like 50 tests, around 50 tests. So that's it. Also, you need to change the cap of the vials, but not very frequently, like every year or more than a year. It depends on how many tests you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I haven't seen anybody else come in. That was the last one that Richard asked about the replacement parts. I guess that's it. Rabih, thanks a lot for joining us. I'm sorry that we kept you up so late. We really appreciate you staying up with us. And you know, perhaps one day we can join your chat at 3 in the morning.
And I hope that we will get back to the shows as regular and see you all, guys.
And I want to see you there. I want to see you there, but I want a better price next time I see you.
Well, for me, I miss the States, you know. I used to go there every like couple of months. Now it's been 6-7 months I didn't go there, so I missed it.
Eddie will bring the cigars.
Yeah.
I will.
Eddie, you might get a little discount if you show up with some good cigars.
Okay, I'm willing. I'm willing.
Perfect.
Well, Rabih, thank you very much for chatting with us. Again, we really appreciate it, and
thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I keep the good work.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes our chat. I guess we're trying to kind of put these chats together here and there. You know, share some info. You know, some of the stuff that we use that we're happy with, and you know, just trying to share that info out.
All right, we'll see you guys again next time.
Miami Reef Keepers. Miami Reef Keepers.